In this particular tip, what I'm going to show you is how to use an additional filter, Sharpen, just like you would do within Photoshop, I suppose, just to help bring your asset again to life and try and remove some of the dullness of some of the textures that you've potentially used. So I did already have a Sharpen filter on there. I've actually just removed them now. So pop back to filters, and we need to find the Sharpen one. Just do a drag and drag that above at the top, I suppose. Probably don't want to sharpen the norm map, so I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll pop it just there. Initially it's going to be excessive. It's got a sharpen intensity of 1. You can see now, just adjust that across, it's going to sharpen things, obviously. Let's just find a value which we're content with. This is where we probably just want to find a reasonable angle. Again, just pop I'm just pressing shift and the right mouse button is moving the mouse left and right just to get a view of where the light's going to hit it. Essentially just rotating the HDRI image really. So sharpen intensity, let's pop this up. Again, you don't want to go wild with this, you just want to be subtle. So we've got 0. Value 0.5. Yeah, 0.5 is not too bad. So with that on and off, make a comparison again. It just helps bring some of that material detail to life. Another very, very useful one. You can see almost here where you've got these little minor indentations over here. And this is with it off, and this is with it on. Again, you would test this within Unreal Engine 4, Sketchfab, whatever it is, Marmoset, whatever it is that you're using, just to confirm that it is in fact, okay and not too sharp as the case may be. I don't think that looks too bad. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy that. You can just use Control C, pop into Lambert 1. Again, the painful aspect of watching it recompute all the material. It's worthwhile noting that I've got 2 gig of VRAM on my graphics card. It's an old GTX 770. You need 4 gig as a bare minimum really. 8 gig cards are phenomenally expensive and a total waste of money. But buy yourself a reasonable 4 gig card, certainly if you're going to be doing lots and lots of this, and it might make life a bit easier for you. So let's just paste that in. Again, we can just quickly check this particular section over here. Off, quite dull, quite boring, on. So it has made a big difference to the actual asset as well. So we can always just confirm what's going to happen if we pop it directly above the norm map. It may have an impact on the norm map or not, as the case may be. I can't really tell, to be honest with you. I'll play it safe, I'll put it beneath the actual normal map, just in case. We save that out as well, Control S. It comes back to life. You can always press Tab, go into full screen and get an idea of what your asset's potentially going to look like. You can also do other things just to help visualize what the asset is, because at the moment you can clearly see there is no shadows, for example, and the ambient occlusion is quite weak as well. So you can always just compute shadows by clicking on shadows, and then it will essentially allow you to see the shadow on your actual object, bearing in mind the environment map that you're using. So that can often help just to help visualize things, but it can also slow things down as well, I suppose. I'll just pop that off temporarily. You can increase the actual ambient occlusion as well, so ambient occlusion intensity is currently 0.75. If it's on 0, you can see a slight difference to it. I'm probably going to whack this up actually to 1. I think it'll just help visualize what the object's going to look like. Well, bear in mind, obviously, we do have an ambient occlusion map baked out anyway, so you just need to be slightly wary there. And you can always just duplicate the ambient occlusion map and pop it back on here and increase it within the actual texture itself. So if I just click on add a fill layer again, turn off our height, roughness, metallic and normal, and within my color I'm just going to click on that and type in ambient occlusion. So again, make sure that we have Lambert 1. So this should read material ambient occlusion from mesh lambda 1, which is the one we want. Click on that. It's clearly going to tile multiple times at the moment. I'll just pop this onto 1, and that will just put it into the correct UV space. And then we can, just like you would do within Photoshop, if you now go into base color, which is what we're in, and within this you can actually just click on options such as multiply, and you can see the difference that's going to make. It's just going to increase the ambient occlusion around some of those areas and help bring it to life, I suppose. But let's also apply that principle previously to the other texture 1 set. Click on it, be prepared to wait for a few moments again. And apply the same principle. So add a new fill layer, turn off everything with the exception of the color, and add, in this case we know it should be this one now, just confirm texture 1, and then just put the repetition down to 1 and pop that onto multiply as well. And now just pop into an area such as this, try switching things on and off and see what impact that makes. You can obviously control ambient occlusion in different engines as well, depending on where you're going to ultimately output this, I suppose. But it's still a useful way of doing it within Substance Painter itself. And you can obviously modify exposure values, etc. within this, and obviously change the type of map as well. And you do need to make a note of the fact that when you are looking at things in here, they are naturally going to be very, very different to other engines, depending on what it is you're actually, what HDRI map you're using there, what lighting setup you've got in there, because there will just be a natural change. So even though you might find you've got the perfect HDRI in here and it looks absolutely stunning, then you dump it into Marmoset and you've got a different look and feel. It's something to consider. I mean, it might be worthwhile finding out where these particular HDRI images are on the install and then naturally copy them across into Marmoset. You can do that, or you can find your own. There's a multitude of HDRI images which are free online. You can always use those to get an understanding of what the asset's going to look like in a different light. Obviously this is just one material. You are going to make multiple materials and make things as interesting as possible. Go to Substance Share, see what options are available there in terms of your materials. There's all kinds of weird and wonderful filters. We'll have a look at some of those in a few moments, and they'll significantly impact the quality of your work as well, come to think about it. So there's some additional food for thought in terms of using the Sharpen in conjunction with some of our other material setups that we've just done.